Welcome to the Registering Contacts training video for the Dr. Justina COVID-19 contact tracing system in the state of Colorado. By the end of this video, you should be able to understand how to register a new contact with an index case, understand how to register a new contact without an index case, understand how to register multiple contacts, know which questions are required when registering a new contact.
All right, so we're going to be starting on the main apps page with all the modules here. We will be registering a contact in this video, so we're going to look for the Register New Contacts form. If it is not here, for example, if you are a case investigator, you may not have direct access to this module. If you are a case investigator, you would want to go access a case. So we can go into, for example, all cases. We can click on a case, and from in here, we can register new contact from here. I'm going to head back to the main page. Another way to find the Register New Contact form is at the end of some forms, there may be a checkbox at the bottom of the form before submitting to be transferred to the Register New Contact form. So now that we're back in the main menu, we're going to click on the Register New Contact module. In here, we get a list of cases that we would want to make our contact. So we're going to go ahead and search for our contact. So once we've searched, we can go ahead and click on it here. We're going to get a case details window to pop up, and we can confirm that this is in fact the case that we want to have our contact for. And then we're going to click continue. After I click continue, I'll be brought to this register new contact form. So here I've got the patient info for the case that I just selected. As we go down the form, I can view any notes that have been written about the patient. I can also add a new note here. I can select the total number of contacts right here. If we scroll down, the next question is how many new close contacts do you want to record? I'm going to select one. This question is required. You can tell because of the red asterisk. If we scroll down, we can see that we can enter the first name of our contact. We can also put in a last name here as well. We can enter in a phone number, a work phone, or another phone. We can enter in an email address. We have a question here that says, is the contact's address the same as the case's? So we can select yes, if in fact that our contact's address is the same as the case's, meaning they lived in the same household, or we can select no. And if we select no, then it's going to bring up the geocoder, and we can search for an address in here. This works by typing an address into the box. What we can do is click on it, and it'll automatically populate the boxes below that it needs to. And if we want to, we can edit any of this information, such as an apartment number or county of residence. There's also a note at the bottom that we can add any other way to get in touch with our contact. Here, if we know the contact's date of birth, we can enter it here by clicking this box and entering it in. We can also enter our contact's exact age, or we can enter our contact's approximate age. You can select if the contact is a minor or not. Here we can select preferred language. And we can also select patient's secondary language. As far as you know, has your contact had any symptoms? You can click yes or no here, or unknown if you're not sure. In the 90 days before exposure, did this person have a history of COVID-19? You can select yes, no, or unknown here. The next question is sex, male, female, female to male, male to female, unknown or other. Does the contact have an intellectual or developmental disease? You can select yes or no here. Relationship to the case. So there are contacts relationship to our patient case. The next question is type of contact. For example, if the person is in the same household or workplace or social gathering or unknown. This next question is required. When was the last day our contact had contact with the case? We can select a date here. The next question is, if the index case is positive for COVID-19 and currently in isolation, are they currently living in the same place as your contact? You can select no if they're a different resident, or yes if they live in the same household. Here we also have a checkbox where we can assign this contact to ourselves. This is our user name right here. We can also add any notes that we'd like to right here. As we scroll down, we're going to get into exposure notifications. We've got interviewing instructions here. And the last question is, before you hang up, do you have exposure notifications turned on your mobile phone? You can select yes here, and then they would ask, how would you like your instructions to be read? You can say text, or you can have them read to you over the phone. If you select text message, it'll ask you to put in your phone number here. That's required once you select text message. If you select the option read over the phone, you'll have your contact open the exposure notifications app, and follow these instructions right here to generate an OTP code. After that, there's another interview script, and then we are finished. We're just going to go ahead and click the submit button here.
All right, so now that we're back to the apps page, we're going to go ahead and register a new contact without an index case. We're going to click on this module here. Once we get to the screen, we can see that we can search for a contact within these fields. This is for deduplication purposes. So if we go ahead and search for our person that we're going to be adding, we can add in their last name, their first name, and their date of birth. If we only know their first name, we can submit that as well. Once we get here, we can go through all of the search results and double check to make sure that none of these are the contact that we are trying to register. If they're not, you can click on this at the bottom here, no potential duplicates, proceed to register a new contact without index case. This means that our contact was not within the list, which means they're not going to be duplicated when we make a new contact. So we're going to go ahead and click this button here. So we're going to go ahead and walk through so we can select the number of contacts that we're going to record. I'm going to select one here. It's already pre-populated. The next question lets us select the type of contact that our contact is. For this example, let's say it was a household contact. We can enter the first name of our contact. Let's say their name is Joe. We can type their last name, their phone number, their work phone, their email address. So in this space here, we can type in an address to search for. Once we type it in, we can select from the dropdown, and it'll automatically populate these boxes here, the address. If we continue scrolling down, there's a box to know any other ways to get in touch with our contact. And we can also type in the date of birth for our contact. We can select if this contact is a minor or not. We can select the preferred language for our contact. We can also choose any secondary language. We can put the sex for our contact. Our options are male, female, female to male, male to female, or unknown or other. Does this contact have an intellectual or developmental disability? We can select yes or no. The next question here is our contact symptomatic? Our options are yes, no, or unknown. We have another question here. It's a required question. We know because of the asterisks here. The question is, what was the last day of exposure? We can go ahead and select what day our contact's last exposure was. There's also a checkbox here. We can permanently assign this contact to our username. We can also add any notes that we'd like to add at the end. At the end of our form, we may have patient transfer information. If we have this, this means that we selected a different county of residence than what our LPHA is, up here where we add in the address. This would like us to answer the question, what county is our contact being transferred from? We can select another county here. This question is required. And we can add any transfer notes here. And at the bottom, we're asked if we want to transfer our contact to our new county or if we do not want to do that at the time. So then once we get to the bottom, we can go ahead and click submit. So after we submit, we'll be brought to the application page. We can go into My Open Contacts. And if we scroll down, we can see the contact that we just entered is assigned to us because we checked the box that we've assigned it to ourselves. And we can see all of this information here. Also, if we head back to the main page, we can go into All Contacts. And we can search for our contact there. And we can see that they're also here, and we can see all the information that we put in is in the All Contacts and in the contact notification form if we head into here, or if we wanted to follow up with our contact. So this way we can edit any of the information and create a contact notification form.
Thank you for watching the Registering Contacts training video for the contact tracing system.